Happy Friday, everybody. Dr. Imholt again. So one of the things that I get asked once in a while is to talk to kids or high school students about career choices and the sciences and engineering. 'Cause, I've worked in it forever. So, and I love doing that kind of thing. But one of the things that gets overlooked in those discussions quite often is, yes, to be a scientist or an engineer, there's a lot of math, there's a lot of studying, there's a lot of understanding how things work or why things work the way they do. And that's vital. And you need to stay up on all that. But over 25 plus years in my career, 30 years in my career now, one of the things I could tell looking back is one of the times I was most creative or most productive at my engineering or science work was when I was at my most creative, when I was kind of at my most um, innovative. And if I look backwards, I see the times those always coincided with when I was actually more active on reading fiction. And one of my loves for fiction comes from the fact that it really does inspire thought. It really does it make you sort of think or look at things a little bit differently. It certainly teaches you empathy. But there's a little bit of a misconception there. I don't mean any fiction. There's fiction on the market, there always has been, that gets preachy or sort of in your face with this is what you must think, this is what you must do, and it sort of shoves it down your throat. What I'm talking about is stuff that inspires, something that uplifts, something that makes you think, not something that gets dictatorial and beats you over the head. So the fiction I like to read is stuff that really does kind of make you kind of get out of your own head and think about something else without beating you over the head with an agenda. And if you look at the book reviews or the book discussions on YouTube here or on my other social channels, you'll see a large part of my collection is not what I would call agenda-driven fiction. And there's a place for that. But if you want fiction that kind of gets you out of your daily worries, if you want fiction that gets you to sort of think about things a little bit differently or learn empathy or something, the fiction that I would recommend is something that's not that sort of beats you over the head with an agenda kind of stuff. Um, I've read, a lot of those too, but by and large, I look at the covers and I 5, 6 years later, I'm like, well, I don't remember the story at all. Whereas other books, I will find, years and years later, and I'll be like, okay, I remember that story immensely. Like, who can forget this one? And it's not just because the movie Silence of the Lambs, the book was amazing. Um, so, if you take the time to read those that really do kind of make you think, and not just about cannibalistic serial killers. I think it does impact your ability to innovate and think differently. And in a world where people are going to have to compete more and more with AI, that thinking innovatively and thinking creatively is going to become more and more important. So I hope everybody has a great weekend. Yes, I know everybody's got a busy life, and you're like, oh, I don't have time to read, but I'm telling you, it does make a difference. So pick up a fiction book today, whether it's one of mine or one of somebody else's. Just pick up something you think you might like. Read a bit and enjoy. Subscribe if you haven't. Click like. If you don't like it, click dislike. Leave a comment. Pro, con. I don't care. But everybody have a great weekend.